Hi everyone, and welcome to creating an LED card. The first thing that you're going to need is a card. You're also going to need a strip of copper tape, and you will also need an LED light and battery. Our first step is you will color your card, and you'll notice even on the directions page that that's your first step, as well as making a cut in the reindeer's nose. But you will notice that this already has a cut through it, so you don't need to do that step. You might want to take a look at the teachers in the room because they are going to have some instructions about how to properly fold the copper tape. You're going to have some paper to try and make some of these folds first, but the most important thing is that you do not cut the copper tape, okay? So the first thing that you need to do is flip your card over, and you're going to notice that there are a pathway for you to put your copper tape, okay? So the first thing I want you to do is with your copper tape, we're gonna outline this part. When we get to here though, we're gonna kind of just stop and pause for a moment because we need to insert our LED light here. All right, so with your copper tape, you're gonna start on that outline. And remember, we don't want to cut it until the very end. Okay, so I'm peeling my tape right now. And then very carefully, I'm going to start placing my copper tape along the black guideline. When I get to here, this is very, very important. We don't want to cut the tape. We have a corner. So instead, we're going to kind of go a little bit beyond it, and then we actually want to go in the opposite direction at first to create a little crease right here. And then you're going to take the rest of this copper tape and travel the guideline down the rest of the way. I can see that we're getting to another corner. So again, what I'm going to do is I'm going to go a little bit beyond, then I go the opposite way so that I have a crease that is formed at that corner, and then I'm going to continue with my copper tape down the rest of the way. The corners are the hardest parts. So again, here I am at another corner. I went a little bit beyond. Now I'm going to go the opposite direction at first. And then I'm going to continue traveling up here. Now I notice that I see a line here, and this is where our LED light is going to go. So before I continue making the rest of this pathway, I'm going to take out my LED light. Now you're going to notice with the LED light that you have that there is a short leg and a long leg. So when I take a look at mine, this is my shorter and this is my longer leg. You're going to take your LED light and bend it out so that we have a short leg and a long leg. And again, if you're unsure, just kind of go back again and see, okay, this one's the short. I have to make sure the short stays on this side. The long one goes on this side. So you're going to bend these so that you can have your LED light sit right on the circle part of the guideline page, and your legs will sit here. You might want to have a grown-up help you to hold down your light. But then you're going to take your copper tape and you're going to place the copper tape over top of your light. I'm going to now make my first cut right here. So you can see for this step that what we've done so far is we followed the guideline. Remember, for these corners, we extended it, we went out and followed it down, extended it, went out and then followed it down. Same thing here, extended, went the opposite direction, and then went down this way. This is our long leg, this is our short leg. Okay, we made our first cut right here. Next, we're going to still use that other piece of copper tape, and we are going to start making the rest of the pathway. You can see that we're going to be going over top of the short leg, and then we are going to also have a spot here for our battery. We'll get to that step in a moment. All right, boys and girls, so for the next part, you can see I kind of already have done this. So again, I started here. I took my copper tape and put it over top of the other leg of my light, the short leg of my LED. I extended it, went the opposite direction to create a corner, and I'm going along this guideline. Once I get to the very end here, I'm just going to pause for a moment because we need to actually get the battery here, and we need to use the rest of our tape to create a little bit of a donut, a tape donut, so that we can still conduct that electricity and get the power from our energy source, which is the battery. Okay, I'm going to take right now my copper tape, the rest of it, so I'm going to just kind of take that off, and I'm going to create a little bit of a tape donut right now. So I want the sticky side up, and it's okay if you make it a little bit bigger than what's on here, because we really want to make sure that that battery has place to make sure it sits so that it can charge up. I'm actually going to use probably the rest of my copper tape to do this. Okay, all right, so here we go. I have my little tape donut that's right here with the sticky side up. I need the battery now to help me. So do you notice how there's a plus side on one side? I actually need the negative side to be facing down, and that's what it tells us right here in these directions. So facing down, negative side, positive side up. Okay, and then in a moment you'll be able to tell if you have completed a closed circuit for your light to work. So let's check this out. Okay, we're almost ready to check this out. The next thing that we're going to do is we're going to be taking our light and making sure that it goes into our X that we had cut out. So we're going to fold our card over, and I'm sure yours is going to look a lot nicer than Mrs. Sitz's because you colored yours. I'm going to make a nice fold, okay, and then to see if our card is going to work, we're going to be pushing this button here on the front and see if we can get our light to actually light up. All right, boys and girls, so you can tell right now that my card is lighting up. Sometimes you need to push down on where the battery legs are to make sure you have a strong, secure connection. But the most important thing is that whenever you do this, you need to make sure that your copper tape on this side is coming in contact with the battery here at the bottom so that you get that complete closed circuit. So here I go. That light is lighting up. So I hope you were able to do this. Again, if you're having a little bit of trouble, make sure you ask one of the adults that are in charge. But again, the most important thing is making sure you have that pathway of your copper tape and that we have strong connections to make a closed circuit. Hope you had fun.